Let's cover the principle of prospecting. All right, this is the most underrated principle in any sales organization, I promise. If you are good at prospecting, you're gonna find the best buyers in the moment all the time. This is how people sell 5 and 6 every day. They're making the early hours count, they're getting out and they're getting it done. So I wanna cover a couple of principles that are gonna blow your mind with TV and help you. All right, part 1 is the dish takeover. So finding a Dish Network satellite on the home. I have some principles in this online material that will help, some photographs that you can check out on the manual. I need you to do that because knowing what a satellite dish looks like, knowing kind of when they're in contract and when they're not. The black satellite dishes that are a little faded, you know, your silver satellite dishes, if you can see them from a distance, you'll see actually these low noise blockers. Those are the little nubs at the end of the satellite. Okay, you see those from even 200 feet away. That's a great look. In the daytime, you're looking for a dish satellite where there's 2 cars in the driveway. I mean, and this could be an elderly couple or maybe someone who works from home. That's your best look early, in my opinion. I love the dish takeover, just universal across the United States. I love it, okay, because it means a couple of things. It means that they're probably paying too much if they're out of contract. Also, it means that their equipment's old. The Hopper 3 is pretty new, but if they've had it for more than 2 years, they're not gonna have that. So it's very important that we can find those. That is principle 1. Principle 2 in your prospecting is being able to look for the cable boxes on the side of houses. So typically it's on the left-hand side. It really does depend on your neighborhood. In Dallas, Houston, really anywhere in Texas where we've got a lot of our teams, these boxes can be seen just right in front of the fences of these new developments. So as you walk down the street, you'll see them on the side of the home. Typically with cable, there are 2 major providers in any market. That's what I've found as I've been. Sometimes there's exceptions to that rule, but Houston, it's all about Xfinity and AT&T. Dallas, there's AT&T as well. I don't know how big Xfinity is there. Even in some of these smaller towns, you'll have little local companies like TDS and CenturyLink, but there's always 2 major players, and you can typically see those boxes on the side of the home, so you know who you're talking to before you even knock the door. You know what they have, you know what they're running, and that's gonna play a huge part into your sell. So these 2 things need to be followed by the book. Find your best looks first. If you're hitting something cold, you're gonna kind of have to shoot from the hip. If you know it's a dish and you know it's a cable and you know what provider they are, you have a pointed attack. And so that's very important. Those 2 principles are gonna change your life. The last thing I wanna talk about that is probably the biggest mistake of new reps is they get to an area and they just go door to door to door, and you're gonna blow 2 hours of your day right off the bat. Okay, it's the worst idea in the world. What you wanna do is, once again, you wanna look for signs of life, and you wanna find people who are home, preferably who have the Dish Network dish or who have cable that you wanna take over. Okay, so if I get dropped off, I'm looking around in my neighborhood, I see there's a house with 2 cars, there's a house with an oil stain. I'm gonna avoid the oil stain where the car's supposed to be. Okay, I think that's a no-brainer, but at the same time, I made that mistake when I first started selling, and I see it all the time. Okay, let's make sure every minute is counting. That way when you get to your very, very first door, you're knocking somebody who's gonna be home.